Good morning. Let me tell you about my girlfriend's cousin. And then I'll talk about people getting the COVID vaccine while they are sedated. I heard so many stories now about this, so I'll talk about it. Now, first about the cousin, female cousin to my girlfriend. So when I started to make videos back in 2016, my girlfriend's folks, they complained about this. They complained about my videos. And they talked to my girlfriend. They didn't talk to me. They talked to my girlfriend. And my girlfriend got a problem with this. She got upset, and you see. And then later, this particular cousin apologized for this. Some years ago now, I think. She apologized, right? And right now, my girlfriend is sort of dealing with this situation, this past situation. So she's communicating, my girlfriend is communicating to these people, including the cousin, right? And then she did it again, you know, this cousin. Again, she complained to my girlfriend about my videos. See? And you know, that shows you how much this apology was worth, of course. You know, I think it's in their, sort of like in their DNA. When they have a problem with the person, as in this case, they have a problem with me, right? They don't talk to me. So they talk in sort of a hidden way. They feel they have to do something. So they talk on to others. I don't think they can do anything about it. This is how they work. It's in their DNA, sort of. So that's what happened. Another detail here that I thought was hilarious was, you know, my girlfriend, she started to talk to these people about this situation, this past situation. She wanted to sort it out, so she talked. And when she did, this particular cousin was in Cyprus on vacation. And then she said, well, this was very tough to read about all this stuff now, the cousin said, because I was on vacation. So sort of making my girlfriend feel guilty about the timing, you see. Well, I had to read this now and look at this now while I was on vacation trying to relax, you see. Wow. So this is fun, I think, you know. This is like me saying to somebody who's complaining about me, well, you know, I was in my living room when you complained about me. When you talked to me when I was in the bathroom, you see. You could have waited until I was done, see. I was really hurt by this, see. Wow. This particular cousin is, I think the family situation there is sort of interesting too. But I don't know them very much. I don't know them at all, basically. I met them a few times. But from what I understand, the husband is, when he gets drunk, he gets sort of slimy. This is the stories that I heard about him. Slimy, sort of want to touch and stuff. Right. Oh, so this is what I believe. They can't help themselves. They did something. They sort of realize that it was wrong, and then they apologize. And then they do it again. Oh. An apology is not worth nothing if the behavior doesn't change, of course. Absolutely nothing. You have a bully who will apologize. This is bully, and he says, well, I'm sorry, I did this. Well, it's worth something if he stops, right? If he doesn't, if you just continue with the bullying, it's worth nothing, absolutely nothing. So before you accept an apology, I think it's a good idea to find out, is this really going to change? All right, so about these people getting vaccinated when they are sedated. I read this thing. I don't really know how it works in Sweden. I don't know how it works in Sweden. I haven't been to hospital myself since I was 12. I was in hospital with a broken arm. Right? That was the last time. So I don't know how it works. But this is something. This is like a warning, I suppose. Well, it is a warning. So let's see. So I'll post a link to this. You can read about this thing. So you go to the hospital. Let's say you need surgery. They want you to sign a consent. Okay? And this consent, in the consent, there's a word. And it's biogenics or biologics. So let's say you go in for a knee surgery, and then you say, well, sign this thing. And the word they use is biogenics or biologics. And what it means, apparently, is that they can give you anything. Right? Anything they want. Anything. Including the COVID vaccine. See? So from what I understand, you need to write it down. You need to write it down on the form, on the consent. I don't want any COVID vaccine. Use the pen and you write it down. And then you can sue them. That's the thing, right? If they have your consent, they feel, well, let's give this guy a vaccine, this COVID vaccine. He didn't get the COVID vaccine, see? Let's give it to him. They can do it, apparently, if you sign the consent. Amazing. So that's my recommendation. If you're going to the hospital for anything, I think you should look into this thing. All right. Be good.